Now that's significant. The Market Research Podcast. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on our first ever episode of Now That's Significant, a market research podcast. This is your host, Michael Howard, the head of marketing at InfoTools. Today, we're joined by Horst Feldhaeuser, the Group Services Director at InfoTools. Horst has more than 2 decades of experience in market research, marketing, and business consulting. He has been regularly approached for his views and insights in the market research sphere, just like we'll be doing today, touching on the ever-blurring link between humans and technology. Thanks for joining us on the show, Horst.
My pleasure, Michael. Excited to be here on the number 1 first episode.
And hopefully more to come. So, Horst, what's the most significant thing you're going to tell us today, which we'll unpack throughout the episode?
I think the most important thing for today is that if you're working in market research and insights and you're willing to use the power of technology, you probably still have a job in 10 to 20 years' time. The industry is growing and is evolving really quickly. And some people might be left behind, but I think for most of us, we have a role to play.
It's a bold statement, so let's dig into that. Now, you often say that there has to be a balance between human talent and the use of technology to uncover real insights in the market research space. Can you talk about that at a high level?
Absolutely. So I believe that we're still at a point in time where we need the human aspect, our experiences, our ideas, our intuitions, our feelings, and take that and make the most informed and successful business decisions we can. And of course, we want the help of technology to guide us in this, but let's leave some space for the human interference. I've got 2 little examples for you here. First of one is something about that I'm really passionate about is music. So I play music myself. I listen to a lot of music. And, there's a lot of programs out there that can help write and produce music these days without even picking up an instrument. But do we losing something in there? Do we use the human touch, that person, the feelings, the pain that we have when we're writing music, or the joy? Does AI, is it possible to bring that authenticity in? So I'm not sure about that. So I think there's still no substitute for playing and grooving and jamming with others, or bring those emotions into your music and really reflect the human soul that you have. And of course, yes, there's a whole lot of stuff that technology can help us with, production and distribution of music, and has been able to, for artists to create and release albums in days or weeks rather than months, and at a much smaller cost. You didn't have to have a music contract to bring your music out there. The other thing is a very recent example, and most of you would have heard about it, the Australian Open win of Rafael Nadal, right? So he was down 2 sets in a game, and the forecast was for giving him 4% of winning compared to the 96% of Medvedev. But guess what happens? Well, if you know your tennis and Nadal, he never gives up. He's a fighter till the end. And he turned it around. And I don't think an AI algorithm would have been able to forecast that. So it's about us bringing our views, our expertise, our gut feeling sometimes, but relying on the technology to help us with the things that technology is really good, and allowing us to do the things that we're really, really good at, humans.
Mm-hmm. And so for market researchers, I guess it's very similar, isn't it?
Yeah, get the technology to help us to get to those insights or to the data in a faster and better way, and then giving us the time to play around. And I think in market research, for me, it's all about curiosity. What's going on? And if we can get to a point where the technology helps us to get to those ideas or repetitive things quicker, and give us that time back for our curiosity rather than spending it to do mundane things, then I think there's definitely a lot of work for us out there to bring that in. So having smart technology helping with the mundane, maybe even giving some guidance on where to look further. will give us back that extra time to be curious. And I think that's A, the fun part, and B, the part that we as humans are really good at.
No, for sure. Yes, there really has been that persistent chatter, isn't there, about the machines taking over jobs, and you've had it in accounting, you've had it in design and photography, etc. But yeah, there's still that need for humans, as we've seen. So current events have accelerated the need and expectation for technology adoption. In fact, we simply have to adopt new tools to meet new demands for speed and efficiency. So how then can companies adopt solutions with people in mind, for example, making sure the machines are a complement to the people?
Yeah, and that's a really good question, Michael. And I think the main point there you already mentioned, with people in mind, and you need to involve the people that use those technology support factors and to deliver those outcomes in the process. So it's, it's no good just going out there and say, oh, we need a new tool and let's dump it on people or processes and expect them to work. I think we need to go in little smaller steps here. We need to first find out what are the challenges or hurdles or roadblocks that we have in the current process, and then assess how they can be improved. Whether that improvement is indeed a need for a new solution, or whether it might be the process itself, right? So you might have a process that just doesn't work, and just putting a new gloss on it doesn't make it any better.
For sure. Workflow disruption, which I guess you're touching on with the processes there, is a huge consideration for companies looking to adopt new technology. How then can companies minimize that upheaval? What's a smart approach to finding the balance when it comes to implementing new technologies decisions?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest one here for me would be to start small. So try to adopt a new solution for a single project first, take those learnings from there and then expand. And then for any bigger implementations, you will definitely need some senior leadership sponsor and a dedicated project manager for the implementation. You need someone to drive that. You need someone to be responsible, and also someone who understands, that it doesn't change overnight. These changes don't happen quickly. They will cause you pain during the implementation. You need to focus on the bigger picture, on what's happening when you have implemented it and when you have all the right steps on the way. That's where taking smaller steps often helps to iron out some of those issues. Also, don't try to implement a new solution on your old process. We talked about the processes before. It's just a waste of time. It's like talking in the old days, adding another horse in front of the cart to make it faster, rather than thinking about maybe we need a car. New technology usually comes with new processes of doing things. You need to be prepared and open to change these processes. Therefore, the need for a senior leadership sponsor and for a project manager who's able to bring that into the business, rather than saying, here's a new tool, just use it. It's not going to work.
Sure. What questions can a company answer or resolve internally prior to implementing new technology that will help them find the needed balance?
Yeah, there's quite a few actually, and we did write a white paper at some stage, which is certainly available on our website. But in summary, I think some of the points we already mentioned. First of all, look at what are the biggest sticking points in my company's current workflow when it comes to delivering quality insights faster and at a better price. Where can the technology implementation impact these key deliverables? And then the next step would be, okay, what level of disruption am I looking at with a technology implementation? And what level am I comfortable with, right? As I said, these implementations they will cause pain at least to some extent. Have I chosen a partner that can help me with that disruption and implementations? And then we talked about the people before. Do my current team members have the right skills and appetite for the new solution? And how can I upskill and motivate them if needed? And it comes back to this idea of, yes, there's these new processes are here to make your life easier, not to take your jobs away, and to give you more back of that stuff that's cool and that's fun, which is diving deeper, having that curiosity to find out what's going on beyond the data.
Yeah, true. And we also know that the deep need for communication, just to over communicate the changes, the benefits, etc., because people sort of quickly underestimate how much people actually hear when they're going through these types of changes as well. So making sure you keep your people in the loop at all times is really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to recap what we've talked about today, how curiosity, our experiences, ideas, and intuitions, all things that are inherently human, together with technology, can lead to successful business decisions and outcomes for customers. We've also touched on how technology solutions are giving us time back to feed that curiosity and allow us to dig deeper. We talked about why you need to involve the people that work on the processes you want to improve, first and foremost. Why new technology solutions often come with new processes and implementation pains. And it's why you need a senior leadership sponsor, and why you also should start small as well. And lastly, we covered off why you need to find the right partner, people, and capabilities to look at those sticking points that you want to improve. I think that covers it all, right, Horst?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, just one point. I mean, we are working in an industry that's really exciting, that feeds off curiosity, that helps make businesses making better decisions and moving forward, and hopefully for a lot of our work for the greater good of everyone. So grab that technology to help you be more curious and make those decisions better and faster and hopefully easier and going forward.
Cool. Thanks for joining us on today's episode, Horst.
My pleasure, Michael.
No worries. And for the listeners out there, if you've liked what you've heard today, please subscribe to the podcast. Feel free to share it with others who might also find it helpful. And feel free to get in touch if you'd like to be on the show as well. So thanks for listening to Now That's Significant.